Alright, so this video is to go over pulling in codes. Now, in the last video I showed just opening up your template, setting that up, and let's say we wanted to actually start coding here. Well, the first thing you need to do is go into your natural language library here. So we're going to click the plus, and you'll see all the different groupings for codes. Alright, we've got setup, movement, robot motion, wait, until, and special. So, for example, let's say I made a robot and I wanted to move a motor. Okay, so how would I do that? Well, I'd find out or try to take a guess which grouping it's under, or you could just open them all and find your start motor commands. And you just need to click and drag that code into the area between these two curly braces. Now, the most common error is people deleting one of these two curly braces. The robot will not know what to do if one of these goes missing. The whole program won't run. So make sure all the stuff that's in here in blue and red doesn't change. Okay, your code should go between those two curly braces. The robot's only going to understand what's colored. Okay, so it understands the start motor command. It knows that you want to start a motor, but doesn't know what information you need to put in for which motor to start and what speed to start it at. Okay, so to start the correct motor, you need to tell it the name of the motor you want to start. Well, if you don't know the name of any of your different sensors or motors, you can go up to Robot, Motors and Sensors Setup, and you can click through the different tabs to figure out the names for each one of our sensors or switches or motors. Okay, so let's say I want to start that right motor, the one that I look at my Cortex and I see is plugged into port 2. Well, I see it's called right motor, and the spelling is extremely important, and the capitalization. So there's no space, and the M is capital. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to type in right, and you'll see the drop down, there's right motor right there. Okay, otherwise you could just always type it in. Speed, let's say I wanted it to go full speed. What am I going to do? Well, we know the motors see values between 127 and negative 127, so maybe if I wanted it to go half speed, I could do something like 63. Now, if I just run this, it's not going to just continuously run that motor. I have to tell it how long we want to run this thing for. So I'm just going to throw in a couple other commands, which we'll get experience with over time. One command you'll get very familiar with is wait, so I pull in that one. This one wants a time to be designated. I'm going to tell it 3 seconds. And then finally, it's not going to just stop after that 3-second wait. We actually have to tell the motor to stop. So I'm going to go back up to movement, do a stop motor, and once again we have to tell it which motor to stop. Okay, so I'm going to type in right motor. Okay, and now you have a code that's been successfully put in. You've got a start, it waits 3 seconds and then stops. You've got all that detailed information that the program needed to know filled in. We haven't disturbed our curly braces or anything about the program, and when you're ready to actually run it, you can go up to Robot, Compile and Download, and when your little window comes up, your pop-up window right here, you can just hit Start. If you have any other questions or any other errors, please let me know.